Hey everybody, it's April 17th, 2024, and it's just my opinion, Bob. Welcome back. As you know, I love to have the comments. I love all the comments that everybody leaves. Well, 97% of them I love. We all seem to be in agreement on a lot of things, and I'm glad to hear that. Any information I can give you, it's just information I've had from experience. I'm not a know-it-all. Definitely not the sharpest tack in the box, as I've mentioned before, but I do what I can. Somebody suggested I should do a podcast. I would love to do a podcast, but I'm afraid of boring everybody to death. I watch some of those podcasts, and after a few minutes, it's like, take me now. I just, you gotta, I just like doing this. I'm going to try and keep my videos 10 to 15 minutes if I can, because any longer than that, it's like, blah, 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 and you start dozing off. I doze off to myself listening to me. So, and with the note on the comments, I wanted to tell you, I like critical comments. I like constructive criticism. And one of the things several people have mentioned is, Bob, please tune that guitar, will you? And I am sorry. I am so guilty of that. So many times I'll be making one of these videos and I've just got the guitar out. I don't really plan on playing it, but lo and behold, I pick it up and strum it. And boy, if that B string isn't out every single time. So today we're going to hear Bob's guitar in tune. So the title of this video is Guitar Buying 101 and Things I've Learned. And I think most of you already know this, but sometimes we need a refresher on some of these things, because I've been watching a lot of the YouTube videos, like I'm sure you do, and I see all these comparisons to sound and things like this, and the woods, the tone woods, and the solid top, and the all solid, the laminated, the composite bodies, blah 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 blah. Let me tell you something. Let me show you an example. And I don't know if you've had the same experience I had, but I'm sure we're all probably in the same boat. You listen to this now, we're going to have it in tune, all right? You take a tune like, how's that, huh? There must be some kind of way out of here, said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion, I can't get no relief. Yeah. Bad lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. I played that little bit because I hope you play like I do. You're playing with friends, you might be playing with family, you're playing by yourself. Most of the time you're playing with other people, though. You don't really playing by yourself, but and you're playing out. You might be in a park, you might be at the beach, wherever, and you're playing. How many times in your life as a guitar player, maybe you don't sing, maybe you just play guitar, how many times in your life has somebody said to you, I'll use my name for example, boy, Bob, that is the finest sounding guitar I've ever heard in my life. Bob, it sounds fantastic. I can tell you for a fact how many times I've heard that statement. Zero. Never heard one person say that. What do people say? Hey, I really like that tune that you played. That's a pretty neat song. I like that. Boy, it just brings back this memory or that memory. I like so-and-so, how his arrangement was. And it just starts a conversation, You did a good job on that song. Yeah, I like that. It sounds good, you also get the other side too. People say, "Oh, I don't care for that song at all. I hate that song. I've always hated that tune." Okay, but that's the kind of feedback you get. Nobody says that is, I hate that song. I don't like the way you sing. I don't like the way you play. But boy, that is a beautiful sounding guitar. Nobody says that. The only person that's interested in what that guitar sounds like is the guitar player. You play out for somebody, I'm going to go with 98%. 98% of the people could give a hoot what that guitar sounds like. It's the songs you're playing. It's the material you're playing. That's what's important. That's what people connect with. They either love it or hate it. But it's not the sound of that guitar. So that's really secondary. So what is important? I don't know if there's any new guitar players listening to me. I doubt it. Probably the same old people that follow me. I don't have a big following, by the way, because I never ask anybody to subscribe or to like my videos. I don't do this for money. I just do this because I enjoy the feedback. I enjoy the comments. And like I said, I hope I answer everybody's comment. I at least try and like it. If you agree 100% with me, I'm just liking it, but otherwise we'll have a discussion. What is important with a guitar? To me, the number one thing that is important, number one, is the playability. How easy does the guitar play? For instance, this is my go-to, I would say. I play this guitar a lot. I don't know why, but I just do. And it's probably because the playability. I love the thin neck. I love the thinner neck. It's like this is similar to an Epiphone or a Gibson Les Paul with that thin style neck. And that's very comfortable for me. I love it. It makes it play easy. It's very comfortable for me to play. That is what's most important in a guitar, especially when you're learning, when you're starting, and you're trying to form those chords. You want something easy to play. You know, the neck, the way the height of the string, the whole combination of the neck set into the guitar. That's what's important, which is playability, and that's what's important when you're starting or when you're intermediate or in a professional. You want a guitar that plays easy. That's what you got to go by. Don't worry about what the wood is on top. Don't worry if it's all laminated. Who cares? Who cares what it's made out of? It's how does it play. That's the most important part. Sound, you can fix that with whether you use a mic and electrify it or just whatever, but it's not that important. It's only important to real critical musicians who looking or hear a certain sound. It's like an audiophile. And I used to be into audio quite a bit. You know, you fine-tune your system and get just the perfect little thing. Who gives a hoot? 98% of the people just want to hear the song. They don't care about the certain frequency or what this is doing or the room or the resonance. They just want to hear the song. And that's what it is when you're doing the guitar. Same thing. And I know we all know this, but sometimes we forget. So don't worry about what the guitar is made out of or how long it's going to last or what country it was made in. If you find one and it plays easy, great. This is a Chinese guitar and it plays great. That'll be another video, and I'm going to hope to do that video today. I'm going to talk on guitar manufacturing and how this is all changed and what's coming ahead and how this is going to be affected with the tariffs. But this video is just about guitar buying. So you want something very easy to play, okay? The second thing you want is you want to have decent tuners. These are sealed tuners in the back here, and they're average tuners. They're not low-end tuners. They're not high-end tuners. They're just average. What you want in a tuner is something with a good ratio. You want a high ratio, so you don't turn it a fraction and it jumps 3 or 4 steps. You want something with a good ratio so you can fine-tune it. And then, look at me talking about being a tune, and I don't even tune my guitars. So anyways, you want something with a high ratio, and then you want something that's going to hold tune. You don't want it to slip out. That's what's important. So yes, your tuners are important, and you look for something that has good tuners. The tuning ability and how it holds, that's what you want. The last thing, well, not the last thing, second from the last thing, everybody's different on what's comfortable for them to hold. This is a jumbo. This is a jumbo guitar. This is a big body guitar. This is bigger than a dreadnought. This is the part that's jumbo right here, this lower bout. Not this so much, but this. And a lot of people are not comfortable with this. A lot of people like dreadnoughts, which I like. That's my favorite. But I always play this. I don't know why. Then you have your orchestra model, your folk guitar model. It gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you get to a parlor size, which, whatever. Everybody's got a different guitar that'll feel comfortable to them. And that is really it. If you want a tip on learning guitar, the best tip I can give you is this. When I started playing guitar, I could play the basic chords, G, C, and D, but I couldn't play C sharp or C sharp minor seventh or B minor seventh and all these kind of chords like this, G flat, or I didn't, it was just too much. And then a friend of mine said, well, you can do it with bar chords. Bar chords are easier. And I said, oh, okay. So I just started learning bar chords. So the biggest tip I can give you, and I know you all won't agree with this, this is just my tip to somebody new starting guitar that wants to get somewhere fast. You're taught to play an E chord like this. Use your fingers 1, 2, and 3. And that's how you're taught to make an E chord. I didn't learn to make an E chord like that. I use fingers 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4. And I make an E chord like this. My pointer is out here because my pointer is my capo or my bar. So I learned my E like this with fingers 2, 3, and 4. And then this is the bar because the bar follows all the notes on the thing. So here's an E chord, here's an F chord, F sharp, G. It just goes right up. It just doesn't stop, okay? That's your E chord without your pointer. So now take off finger number 2 and just leave on 3 and 4, and you have an E minor. That's an E minor. Here's an E. Here's an E minor. Now there's F minor. There's G minor. There's A minor. It just keeps going. So whatever chord this E is, whether it's an E minor 7th, then G minor 7th, you just use this pointer as your bar. Same thing with the A minor. You don't use fingers 1, 2, and 3. Use fingers 2, 3, and 4 and play an A minor. Learn the A minor. You can see it on your diagram. I know you can't see it that clear here, but make an A minor like this. There's your A minor. Now you come up, it's B flat minor. Here's B minor, C minor. Same thing, A minor 7th. You just lift off your pinky. There's an A minor. Now all these chords, C minor 7, D minor 7. It's just a fast way to learn a lot of chords in a hurry. Yeah, it sounds good. So it's just easy peasy. That's my little trick. Not that I'm anything great, all right? Like I told you before, I'm a drummer, just guitar player second. But that's a good tip to learn. So in the guitar, like I said, don't worry about if it's laminated, if it's solid. That's for down the road. You might prefer something, but you know what? The people you're playing for, they could give a hoot. They'd rather have you play the song good, because there's nothing worse than hearing, boy, the guitar sounds great, but you stink. You know, it's like, no. And nobody's going to mention anything about the sound of that guitar. What they're going to notice is if you play bad, you know. I mean, that's the sound they're going to hear. You're playing like this, and well, my dog's gone. He ain't no more. That's what people are going to say. Okay, take me now. That's what they're going to say. Take me now. So that's my tip on guitar buying. And I just wanted to thank you so much for criticizing me not having my guitar in tune. My lazy butt. There's no excuse. There's no excuse except laziness. So watch my next video when I talk about manufacturing. I've met a lot of incredible people doing these videos, so I want to pass on a lot of information to you. So I'll talk with you soon. Enjoy it. Bye.